Hello, social media friends. This is Jeremy Rowland, and it is July the 28th, 2026. And this is Driveway with Jeremy, where I sit my $25 dollar store chair in the driveway of my home, and I talk to you about sports and what it teaches us about life. And man, we got a good one today. I'm not sure if I'm sure you have. If you're a Razorback fan at all, you see all of the Razorback social media pages blaring up about former head football coach Britt Bielema throwing some shade on the SEC today. So I just want to read word for word what he said so I don't miss anything. He said that I know Craig Sankey's got to protect that SEC, and they kind of want to live in 2005 forever. But I think the forward thinking of where we are in college football is an awesome thing. Basically what he's saying is that when he went from Arkansas to, and then he went through his, Patriot days and the other things that he did before he finally landed the job at the University of Illinois, he's basically saying is that the people in the Big Ten have more forward thinking than the people in the SEC. Now, the SEC dominated college football for many years when Alabama was, they'd win a national championship every year or every other year. And the Big Ten was kind of in the backseat because nobody could beat Alabama. Nobody could compete with the SEC. I mean, you had LSU, Alabama, all these teams. And then now, whether you like it or not, SEC is second class to the Big Ten. It is what it is. Between Ohio State, Illinois, Michigan, and all these other teams, I mean, you got to give them due respect where due respect is. Because, and then you got a lot of Razorback fans going, he's just saying this because he couldn't cut it in the SEC, yada, yada, yada. Listen, you can check all my social media from the days back when they fired Coach Bielema coming off of the field, and I said it was a mistake. And I still think it was a mistake to this day. I think it set back Razorback football even further than when we had that disaster Chad Morris era and the people before that. The point is that Razorback fans, and now we just do what we always do. We bring a guy over across the bridge from Memphis, and we're going to hand him all this money, and then here we are off to the races again. At some point, Razorback football fans are going to have to learn the word loyalty, which means you're going to have to stick with a coach through the bad to get to the good, and then it's going to turn bad again, okay? If everybody could win, everybody would do it. But we just don't have any loyalty. And I think that when we let Coach Bielema go, we showed our colors when it comes to loyalty. I mean, I was in for sticking with the guy at least another couple more years. I mean, we just dumped on him real quick and set ourselves back, and then we go out and we get Pittman, and, we're just doing this thing again. And college football is not that far off. I mean, and here we go. We're going to be all hyped up again about Razorback football. Tough schedule. We've talked about that before. But what Bielema said today, you have to respect it. Because the man is building a program in Illinois. Let me tell you something. The state of Illinois is behind that program, and they are behind Coach B, and he's not going anywhere for a long time. And kids in the state of Illinois are going to go play for him. Big, heavy, pushing, muscular, mean offensive linemen are going to go play for him. It's just that simple. Because they want to play in the Big Ten. Now, what do we need to do as SEC? Well, I mean, Lane Kiffin down in LSU is racking up. Basically, what this whole thing comes around to is NIL money. The Big Ten's running off and leaving the SEC in Big Ten money. They've got the backers. They've got the support. And, there's some schools in the SEC that just can't compete. And there is your problem right there. That is what's wrong with college football. When you're out here giving these kids 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, $3 and $4 million to throw a football, or $1 million or $1.5 million to protect a quarterback. Come on, what do you think's going to happen? We talked about it before on Driveway with Jeremy. They're going to have a good season, and then they're going to bounce to the next one that pays them a bigger bag. And then when they get done there, they're going to bounce and get another bag until they eventually get drafted into the NFL and get another bag. It's about this. Money. Money. And if that's what it was, then why isn't Arkansas getting all the big-time players? There's a lot of things that go into that. And I know we're going over 5 minutes. I'm fixing to tie it all together. Why is that? This is Arkansas. Fayetteville. Put Fayetteville against Miami, or Fayetteville against Champaign, Illinois, or Fayetteville against Baton Rouge. You see what I'm talking about? If you want to land all these big-time people, because that's the state of college football is money, then you're going to have to get the big dog. I mean, you already got Tyson, you got Walmart some, etc. But you're just going to have to, you're going to have a $40, $45 million budget, and that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous for a college football team. Now, what does this teach us about life? I think it teaches us a few things. One, what Belima said today was truthful. But what it teaches us about life is that when a university gives you a chance and maybe they shut the door on you too quick, like somebody might shut the door on you too quick in life, always remember that it is better to always maintain the class than fall underneath the bridge and get in the dirty water. And that's what Belima did today. I love the guy. I support him. I root for him on Saturdays as long as they're not playing the Hogs. But he stepped off and he took a little chink in his armor because he took a cheap shot at the SEC today. Just like when somebody makes you mad today, don't let it ruin tomorrow. Okay? Because if you do that, you're letting that person or that entity or that thing affect you, and that means you lose more. That is Driveway with Jeremy for this July the 28th, 2026. Smash that like and share button. Follow me on YouTube and Rumble, and I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again tomorrow for another Driveway with Jeremy.